bidoro Manakano. What I take on the Kelepange came on with all the someone upon making a Mwaki Venu. How could say with them? They could buy no. What about the Quago? What make it a quago? What make it a quago? Nangu Wabatobia, Nangu Wabatobia, but Biafra could be the and the woman, Angela made me say, and the woman, brother Biafra could be the Mumma. I think they will not work on my own sick Daniel. Could be the Mumano. Oh, yeah, the Malafari. Fini, I'm not a metal if you remember like a memory if you pass them on the Kunali, you know, Kunu. It's not a convention came with 29 November, Latino. Now, but at December 30, declare like the Aflano, University Melum could be the Malafari. It's a new way of Patano. On your apple with the phone name. Now, as a Patano with the phone name, that's a Patano view that don't. If you Fabiano, what I have Flavano. I am Mano. I am Manu, kiss a Mary, my man, I see a Manu. That's not coming back I can do. Men I can run by a song as a you can. It's in a weapon, I had them and I had them. Oh, yes, in order for your mayor of Fulani. Always know what I see, Padoli. I am married half Fulano. I just not kind of my other my way to Tina Kano. I just need to know what I think. What I know. Dodo, you can find that too, but yet. I got a lot of Dodo. I think they are to give the my mom is going to take you. My mom is going to go there. My one wrote you for Congo Chatalone. I didn't go to not only China to go, I'm going to go to Aluna. I cannot go to taken. Okay, with you for money. What am I going to buy? No, no matter Melunu. Not more apple, but I apple. I went down one apple more. So now I look at our father. Probably from my wife, go with him, my own way. I keep on up at the Unife. If I'm not about I don't know about to know if you say, Punana. I think it's an Andy, Nakaraboli. But may I go be down, man. And I did that doesn't want to do. But I'm not going to put up on a fire like I tell you. And you got an idea from another game. What the neck in the that's how the making a quail. On the making a quail. About the bottom now when we buy in this was how my photo will you were chilling out. Johnny told you make a half an hour. But not alive, you have like a bit of Momano. But not alive, you have like a bit of Momano. That's what I told me for you mean I thought you man who could be the Momano. When you're no way, see put it out like I went over and go on. Oh, yeah, I cannot get along on the counter. Come on, you go to Santoluno. I am made up when I go on. Ndona go to no. Wait, I'm not about you know. Give them what I'm doing. My man, I am made. Get like you make a cool, and as I stop, when you make a well, found them, on make a well. I don't put on that, and only make a well. I shall look away over. You get boy, you want to, on the back and no way. What about taking more than I don't? On the back and a cool, don't. Ya gazie kono kene koluno kono ga we kuche ya kono me kene kuno nde moving train no me kene kuno leasing officer no bodo ni no me kene kuno nde ba no France no me kene kuno Germany no me kene kuno nde bodo no me kene kuno ndewo no me kene kuno ndewo nde ko bidire Manakano. What I take on the Kelepange came on with all the someone upon making a Mwaki Venu. How could say with them? They could buy no. What about the Quago? What making a quago? What making a quago? It's not good about Tobia, not good about Tobia. But let I be a flaco, and I know. I will go. Nigeria made me say, I live with me. Brother, Biafra go be do mama dodori. But if you go na kwa kana yo no sit down, ele nya go be do mama no. Oh yeah, yeah. Mala pali. Tini kamna ka metina ni fi memna ka memna ni fe. Ipazie no no me.
Ndewo. Onye kwuru ka a na-eme ọgbata obi
na America. I bịa ka ibe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a. Bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo. Na eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu. Ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu. Anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị. Were obi ọcha na obi dowe nabata anyị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma. Anyị na-asị na ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ bịa mere ka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya. N'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ, nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ. Ihe anyị na-ekwu. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ. Anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra. Anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị, onye ahụ agaghị adị. Anyị anaghị asị emebere ugo obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe. Anyị na-asị na nkụ gị ekwe ọ ga-edo, ọ ga-anwụ. Ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi. Anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu ji ide eziokwu aka, n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ, ọ bụghị okwu asị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma. Anyị ga-ahụ echi, n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ. Anyị na-arịọ Chukwu okike abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ, nye anyị ahụ isi ike, nye anyị ngọzi nke ya, nye anyị ịhụnanya. Ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị, wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka, wee zọpụta anyị na mkpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra. Anyị na-asị na ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsị ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na-eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi.
Ọmadike Biafra.
Mmakwa na mụ nweta onwe nne.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. Wherever you are and you are watching us on this program, we welcome you. We appreciate you. We thank you for being part of the program. Wherever you are connecting us from, we welcome you to this amazing program, and we say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching us from, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Russia, China, Israel, you are watching from any part of African country, you are watching me from Biafra land, I welcome you and I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to be with you. My fellow Biafrans, we have come once again to speak the gospel of Biafra. Remember, we have signed up for this assignment. We have taken it upon ourselves that we will preach this message. No matter what the problem might be, no matter the obstacles, this message must be preached. As you join us on this platform, if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. If you have not yet shared, share this program. Don't keep it to yourself. If you do not share this program, you are part of the problem. If you didn't share, you are part of the problem. So I urge you to share and share it. Let it go wild. My fellow Biafrans, we have come once again, as we always do, to preach that gospel, the gospel of Biafra, the gospel of freedom. And we will continue to preach no matter what the enemy is doing, no matter the attack, no matter the propaganda, no matter the blackmail. The gospel must be preached. And that is why we are here. A lot is going on today. The enemies of Biafra are not resting. They are not sleeping. But we are going to disgrace them. It doesn't matter under which umbrella they are hiding. Sometimes we decide not to respond to some idiots, some animals, some Delilah. We decide not to reply to them. But these Delilahs will never mind their business. These Delilahs can never hide their shame. After these Delilah have succeeded in betraying Samson, the Delilah cannot go to sleep. The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Israel, Ekpa, is standing for Biafran people today. Mazen Nandekano, our supreme leader, gave him the order, anointed him, and told us to follow him. In the restoration of Biafra, the only people we know are the people that are committed sincerely. We do not respect you because you told us to respect you. We don't respect person in this very restoration of Biafra because you are Mazen Nandekano brother or sister. We don't respect you because you are commanding us to respect you. We don't respect you because you're beautiful, you speak eloquent English, you are rich or poor. No. The only thing that can make the Biafran people to respect you is what you are doing. You have to earn your respect from Biafran people. If you want us to respect you, you must earn that respect. We have been trying as much as possible to avoid a certain topic, more especially in this platform. But sometimes we are pushed to the wall and we will have no choice than to speak. Like today, we are going to speak. We are going to speak. Before we go into that very speech and introducing our topic, first of all, let us listen to our commercials. As usual, we have a lot of programs lined up. And in all those programs that is lined up, we must bring them to the notice of the Biafran people before we proceed.
Biafra. BFR, Raffle Jingo, my people, follow Wuno Road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku, Naim, they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show, no be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of the Republic Government, in exile, when they for Obodo Yibo, Finland, with him government, Naim, they do the wonder. Say, make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you. And your picking them, and they tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing dey happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR. No sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too. No play.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
Keep on fighting, yeah, yeah, ooh. Stop. Keep on fighting, yeah, yeah, ooh. Stop complaining, oh na na na. Get ready, good people of Biafra and lovers of freedom all over the world, for this invitation announcement as we approach the December Biafran historical event in Finland 2024. The Biafran Redeclaration Sponsorship Committee and its members are inviting all Biafrans and friends for a mega fundraising this Sunday, October 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Biafran time. Always remember that the enemies understand what is coming and the weight of our resolve. So, the harder we push and support financially, the more the enemies tremble. The closer we get to the promised land, the tougher we expect it to be. Together we shall win, and the sun must surely rise this year. Biafran First, Biafran Exodus, and Biafran Republic Government in Exile. Bon. Shout out to them soldiers, where they find them, where they fight us. Stand strong and courageous, cause if you leave them, they will cage us. Shout out to them soldiers, where they find them, where they fight us. Stand strong and courageous, cause if you leave them, they will cage us. Brother, it's a matter of time, truth to prevail, all your agenda.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for hanging around with us. Thank you. My fellow Biafrans, we have come once again, as we always do. And the topic of today says, Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Battle for Biafra freedom is ongoing in all fronts, and victory is sure under Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. My fellow Biafrans, the battle of freedom is on. It is raging from different angles. It depends on how you want to see it and which angle you want to look at. The battle is coming from inside and from outside. It is a heavy battle, and we will not give up. We will never give up, no matter the angle they come from, no matter the corner they come from. We will never give up. Wherever you are as a Biafran, I urge you in the name of Chukwuokikabiam, you must stand your ground. My message today is not begging nor preaching much. It is just a reminder Every sensible Biafran that has his brain intact, except for those who their brain has been taken away because of jealousy, envy, greed. Every sensible Biafran that has his brain intact knows very well that today the possibility of having Biafra is very, very huge, unlike before. Every sincere Biafran know that Biafra is much more closer to us today than it was yesterday. Under the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, every doubt about restoration of Biafra has been overcome. I don't think there is any Biafran that is sensible, that is operating with his normal senses, that will stand up today and speak against Simon Ekpa. I know there are a lot of ignorant people, even ignorant Biafrans, more especially the Igbo Biafrans, who are either filled with envy, jealousy, and hate, ignorance. And they pretend not to know what is happening. They pretend they don't know what is going on. But I bet you, it doesn't matter how long you pretend. Your pretense, you are going to pay dearly for that pretense you are pretending. For that your pretense, you will pay dearly, except you change your ways. The internal conflict today is the major problem. But we are not distracted because it's a small thing. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, the battle for restoration of Biafra has fallen on him. And I want to ask you sincerely, if you are not supporting Biafra, it's a different ballgame altogether. I don't have anything against you. If you say you don't want to support Biafra, that you want to be part of one Nigeria, good luck. I'm not forcing you. But if you open your mouth and say you are fighting for Biafra, you are fighting for the freedom of Biafran people, and you say you do not support Simon Ekpa, you claim to be with Nnamdi Kanu, you claim you love Nnamdi Kanu, and yet you are working against Simon Ekpa. You are worse than the devil itself. You are a liar, you are a cheater, and you are the devil himself. It is only the devil that can be bold enough to play such card and tell such lie. The only man today that is building on that foundation led by Nnamdi Kanu is Simon Ekpa. And I tell you, I strongly believe that Nnamdi Kanu will never ever give up the struggle of Biafra. But if he does, Simon Ekpa is capable to take us to the promised land, and he will never withdraw. And every one of us that is standing behind Simon Ekpa, as long as he is standing firm, we will continue to be with him until Biafra is restored. The same way we are standing with Nnamdi Kanu up till this moment as I speak. Nnamdi Kanu has not denied Biafra. That is why I will never stop talking about him. I will never stop playing his videos. I will never stop praying for him. I will never stop acknowledging his presence as our supreme leader, because he has never denounced Biafra. And I will continue to work with him. If anything happens, which I know will not, and Nnamdi Kanu decided to walk away from the struggle, Simon Ekpa is there. As long as we speak, and what we can see now, he is standing very, very firm on the restoration of Biafra. And we are good to go. My concern is the collective interest of the Biafran people. I am not after name. You can answer any name you want. You can be from any village, any local government, any religion. I want Biafra. My problem is I want Biafra. Anybody that is ready to offer me Biafra, I will follow. I will do my own. I will make my own contribution the best way I can to see that it becomes a reality. It is sad that some people have lost shame. I bumped into a post that was made by our Prime Minister, and it was really mind-blowing. I saw where the ex-wife of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was insulting our Prime Minister, calling him different kinds of names, claiming that his husband, claiming that Mazen Simon Ekpa is working against his ex-husband, claiming that Mazen Simon Ekpa, the husband, have distanced himself from Mazen Simon Ekpa. You and I know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not a coward, has never been, unless he started yesterday. The Mazen Nnamdi Kanu I know is not a coward, has never been. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that can stand in the court of the zoo and call the Nigerian government a terrorist government is not a coward. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu can challenge the government of Nigeria in their face and call them terrorists, there is nobody Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot rebuke. There's nobody. Have you ever seen Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? For all this while, you know, when the criminal lawyer was there, when Ifeanyi Ejiofor was there, they try everything they can to distance the media from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu knows how to use the media. They know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a master in the use of media. He knows how to communicate. They know that the power Mazen Nnamdi Kanu possesses in media. That was why Ifeanyi Ejiofor continued to hide Mazen Nnamdi Kanu away from media. When he was there, they don't allow anybody to bring camera near Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It was banned to bring camera near Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, they began to give Mazen Nnamdi Kanu a secret trial. That was what Ifeanyi Ejiofor with the Delilah, that is what they plan. They don't want anybody to hear from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, so they can be able to create any narrative and push out. But I thank you, Kabia, that in the era of Ejimako, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu break that barrier. Today, every court that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu appears, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu speaks to the media directly, not indirect. At least, for all this while, we have seen Mazen Nnamdi Kanu address Nigerian media, call out to the Nigerian media, call out to their government in their court. Do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is afraid of Mazen Simon Ekpa to the extent that he cannot open his mouth and say Mazen Simon Ekpa should stop doing what he's doing? Do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a coward, or he's so scared of Mazen Simon Ekpa that he can't open his mouth and say, I don't want you to continue this. I don't want you to support sit at home. I do not want you to engage Nigerian government. I don't want you to do anything on my behalf. Do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a coward and scared of making such statement? Sincerely speaking, if you are sincere to yourself, answer this question genuinely. The Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that you and I know is a brave man. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has stood in the court of the zoo and called their agents terrorists. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu challenged Buhari in his own court and say, you cannot jail me. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have accused the Zoological Republic in their presence of their intimidation against the Igbos. Do you now think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot use those opportunities to speak against Mazen Simon Ekpa if Mazen Simon Ekpa is going wrong? It's a food of thought. But every one of us know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has only one mission. He said it. Mazen Nandekano said he is ready to sacrifice everything sacrificable, including his own life for Biafra, and he has done it. Today we saw a Delilah who claimed to be the wife of Mazen Nandekano, his ex-wife, ranting and writing rubbish online, writing some idiotic words, writing nonsense words, trying to pitch Mazi Simon Ekpa against Mazen Nandekano. But of course, we are smarter than she is. We are much more smarter than she can ever be in her lifetime. Mazi Simon Ekpa, for a very long time, have told us not to respond to any idiotic statement of hers. And we have kept it low. Mazi Simon Ekpa have instructed that we shouldn't speak. But she has continued to push the ban. And Mazi Simon Ekpa have lifted the ban on some occasions. It is sad. I do not feel comfortable talking about this idiotic entity. I don't want to talk about her because she doesn't deserve it. She doesn't want it. My respect, my utmost respect is to the man, Mazen Nandekano. And as I said before, being the brother, sister, uncle, friend of Mazen Nandekano doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. I am concerned about that man himself. Just like Mazi Simon Ekpa is. Every single thing Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing today, I respect him for his actions and his words. And he is the only man we know. He has earned his respect from me and from many Biafrans. Just like Mazen Nandekano has earned his respect from every Biafran. And we are keeping that respect and continue to respect him. Wherever you are watching this program from, I want you to ask yourself, ask yourself a question. Who is this Delilah that is standing by Mazen Nandekano? From every indication, we know that that Delilah is not working for him, but against him. Every other freedom fighters will see that their husband was arrested, has always made impact. Most of them go to the media. They go to the international media to talk about the detention of their wives. They go on protest. But we have never seen this idiotic coward make any protest on behalf of her husband. She only joined the clique of working underground. The man that is the masterminder of the death of the people in Biafra land today, these are the people he's holding meeting with. The people that the husband said we should not have anything to do with. The very people that her ex-husband warned, Mazen Nandekano warned, that Biafra should not have anything to do with them. They are the people she is embracing, including the lawyer that her husband denounced. That is her best friend. It is sad, but that is the reality of the day. Can we change it? I wish we can. But we don't have to be distracted. It is either Biafra or Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to see that the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nandekano, is released. But before his release, everybody should disregard every distraction that is going to come from the Delilah. Our Prime Minister have made a revelation of what they are planning. And they want to create chaos. They want to set up a misunderstanding to achieve that aim. But they will never, ever succeed. They will not succeed. No matter how they try, they will not succeed. Wherever you are, I want you to know that the battle for freedom of the Biafran people has intensified. The battle for the freedom of the African people today is being fought on different fronts, both spiritually and physically. It is being fought on different fronts, politically and otherwise. We are equal to the task, and we are going to pursue it and follow it head on. My fellow Biafrans, do not be distracted or deceived. We have only one man ahead today in charge of the face of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi, also. We are here fighting for his release, and his unconditional release will be granted in a short while. As we speak about these affairs, let us go and listen to one of the videos that I got. This video is coming from one of those channels where they speak about Biafran matters. Let us listen to this very program. Pay attention to every single thing they're going to say. Very important. Let's listen and hear what they have to say. The debate on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the debate on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the debate on their new processes of delays of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and denial of his bail. Let us watch and hear what these presenters has to say.
IPOB has accused the Nigerian government of defying court rulings by continuing to detain its leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Despite multiple judgments in his favor, Kanu remains in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, since his arrest and extradition from Kenya in June 2021. IPOB claims Kanu's detention persists due to his firm stance on actualizing the Biafra nation. IPOB issued a statement on Thursday by its media and publicity secretary, Emma Powerful. He said, despite court judgments in favor of Kanu, the Nigerian government has continued to detain him. Powerful lamented how Kanu has been detained by the DSS since June 2021, when he was arrested in Kenya and extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria. Whereas Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Igboho has petitioned UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, urging him to support the creation of a Yoruba nation. The petition delivered on behalf of Yoruba leader Professor Adebanji Akintoye seeks UK intervention in establishing a sovereign state for the Yoruba people. This followed sustained advocacy efforts by Akintoye and Igboho, who have also cautioned the Nigerian government against pressuring the British High Commissioner over the petition. Yet, nothing is practically done in that regard. Meanwhile, National Security Advisor, NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, has revealed that many illicit weapons circulating in Nigeria originally belonged to the government. During an armed destruction exercise in Abuja, Ribadu condemned the involvement of corrupt security personnel in arming non-state actors, pledging decisive action to address the nation's security challenges. We are joined in the studio this morning by Barrister Asim Adams, a political analyst, and Mr. Dele Fanimo, a reporter and VOP in-house analyst. We also have virtually Mr. Jide Ojo, who is a public policy analyst. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us on this morning's show. Welcome.
Well, we do understand that Jide Ojo has not joined the conversation yet, but as soon as he does, we'll bring him on.
All right. Now, Barrister Asim, as a lawyer, can you take us through briefly, the court judgments or the court rulings that have said, let Nnamdi Kanu go, and why is the federal government still detaining him?
Well, thank you very much. We know that the Kanu's, trial, etc., has been a kind of very controversial from his arrest, and his rendition back to Nigeria, and the trials has been a kind of a kangaroo kind of setup. I think I have to use that word. What I mean is this: in the first instance, the state, before you arrest somebody, we were thinking that you should have concrete proofs, what we call proof of evidence, that are substantial enough to sustain a criminal charge. Kanu was brought to Nigeria, first of all, on terrorism. Secondly, we found some other issue like armed dealings, etc., as case may be, then succession, etc. So the prosecution, they were not really too sure of where and how to couch the charges against, Nnamdi Kanu. That is number one. Number two is that at a particular point in time, you find out that, courts were giving, judgments, rulings in his favor, to the extent that a particular court where Constitution Nigeria, asked that Kanu be released, not just on bail, he should be released and let him go home to breathe the fresh air of Nigerian freedom. But before you knew what was going on, in the next 2, 3, 4 hours, they will concoct some other charges again and bring him before another court. And we were asking the question until the judge who was handling the matter, I think she recused herself now, but we found out that this particular judge, even though the defense, complained about, her partiality, etc., as the case may be, she kept on, sitting over the matter for a very long time until she recused herself right now. But on the whole, I think the Kanu's trial has been a gambit. It has been a political, fiasco.
Why do you say so?
And a harakiri for Nigeria, democracy. Yes, why I say so is this. It's not far-fetched. Now, let me say with due respect. You see, when you keep somebody in detention and you now ferret, you now go out to ferret for evidences to prosecute that person, then it becomes anathema to the Constitution. Two is that under our Nigerian Constitution, a man that is charged of an offense is presumed innocent until found guilty. But the way they have been treating this young man is that he's been found guilty already. That is the reason why we will not allow him to go. Even when they say grant bail, before you know, somebody will come from nowhere and bring fresh charges.
What does that make the judiciary system, Barrister Adams? Because they are the ones accepting or, taking up all these charges, like you just said now. If this continues, where does that leave the judiciary in Nigeria?
The judicial arm of, government in Nigeria is right now in a trial period. And this is not the best time for us to even chronicle and profile, what I feel, are things, are debilitating factors that held them down. But I believe that the era of brave judges or activist judges on the bench is over. I was discussing something like this the other day, and I said, if we had people like, the late Oputa, people like Sowebimo and the rest of them, Ututus or Basekis, you have people like Mohamed Bello, Mohamed Bello, a lot of former CJN of Nigeria, and so many of them who were activist judges, who were brave during the military era to tell the military, look, we want democracy, do this. And they pontificated in that particular, hallowed chambers in the Supreme Court. We lack them right now. If we have people like that in the judicature today, I believe that this Nnamdi Kanu's case would have been taken care of. That is number two. Number three is this. The preferential, or maybe the different, treatment is receiving. In the sense that you find that I think it's being profiled, this is my opinion. I feel it's being profiled because of the fact that it is from a particular, section of the country that the Nigerian political galacticos, do not feel that they want to make relevant. And they don't even want to see anything come out from that area. Now, the charges against Nnamdi Kanu borders on war, terrorism, etc., as case may be. But it has been convoluted. In the case of Sunday Igboho, as the case may be, Sunday Igboho, we had charges of terrorism against his men went, before a police station at, Bodija in Ibadan, pulled down the Nigerian flag and hoisted, the Yoruba Nation flag. In Ibadan, we read these things. I was not there, but I read on newspapers, etc., before they invaded his house. But how he escaped, and today he's not even hobbling
So where does that leave democracy in Nigeria?
Democracy is in abeyance in Nigeria. Right. Nigeria's democracy is voodoo type. I dare say, Nigeria's democracy is voodoo type. And this is not democracy. This is mobocracy, in my own opinion. And what people, I was telling people, I read an article that said, Nigeria does not even practice democracy, they practice plutocracy. You understand? This is what we practice here. Government or the rich will decide. They can even decide to throw me into the gallows and leave me there for years and let me rot away. You understand? So once you are a big man, you are in government in Nigeria. That is what happens. We have two laws. One law for people like me, one law for those who are there, who are the big boys. And it's so sad. So we are not practicing democracy at all, in my own opinion.
All right, then. Quite an extensive one, I must say. And you touched on a few other issues as well. Let me come to Mr. Fanimo now. Nnamdi Kanu has sought intervention from the international community. He has sought the UK government's involvement. How far can that go? How much involvement can we see from the international community when it comes to sorting out his case and letting him off the hook?
You see, the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu is, to me, an aberration. That said, but I want to say here, and I've said it on a number of occasions in the past, that as it is, there is a kind of logjam over this case. He has visited court several times, and he had been released by the court, and they're still holding on to him. But then, one thing I want us to look at is when you are comparing the case of Igboho and Kanu, I want to say that what the Yoruba have is what is saving Igboho.
And what's that?
You see, an average Yoruba man feels that sometimes when the hard way is not possible, we use the subtle way. The same treatment that we visited on Nnamdi Kanu was also visited on Sunday Igboho. The DSS raided his home in Ibadan, killed many people, in fact, ran him out of the country. He was on his way from Benin Republic to Germany when he was accosted. He was detained in the Republic of Benin for several months. As a matter of fact, there was an overture from former Chief of Army Staff, Buratai, that he should rescind that decision of going ahead with Odua Nation, that he will be given amnesty. But he insisted that he was not going to give up on that. So at the end of the day, there was underground diplomacy. Yinka and the likes of Akitoyi went underground, met with Republic of Benin. Don't forget that Yoruba people are also in the Republic of Benin. Even his lawyer is a Yoruba descendant. So they went on the ground and find political solution. It's on the Igbo's case.
Okay.
Now, in the case of Kanu, it is apparent that government is adamant on keeping him. And if the courts are said,
and basically what you're saying is the elders in the Southeast are not coming together. But they have been coming together.
But, you see, but don't forget that Buhari was in government when Sunday Igboho was let off the hook, not Tinubu. So for Buhari to...
It was towards the tail end of his administration.
What I'm saying is he was still in government.
Okay.
Until the last minute there's something interesting you exit government, you are still in charge.
There's something interesting that you said. Please remind me. I don't know if when Nnamdi Kanu's home was raided, did they find that cache of arms like they did in the case of Sunday Adeyemo Igboho? Because I do recall that a cache of arms were found, and they even arrested Kat as well.
Kat?
Oh yes, they did, because they felt he transitioned into a cat. But now, on a more serious note, arms were found in one place that showed that there was a coming together to perpetrate, to perpetrate chaos, probably in defense to whatever, whatever they believed in. But in another man's case, and then there was a political solution to that.
The double standard of the zoo.
Guns and ammunition.
You can understand.
In another man's case, I don't recall if
the double standard
ammunition in his place, but then we cannot have a political
solution
to his own case.
No matter how hard we begin to debate this, government has taken a stand. The only thing we can do is to make them shift that position and release this man. Because for me,
the only thing we can do, who is the we now? The Igbos in Nigeria, the Southeasterners, or Nigerians?
Nigerians can go around, find a way out of this lockdown.
Because it's one thing to say, oh yes, the Southeasterners are not coming together to fight for the release of this man. But let's not forget that he may be from the southeastern part of Nigeria, but he's first of all a Nigerian. So what?
I hope you understand the argument this man is making, which is a genuine argument. You know, most of the time they will tell you the Biafran, the Igbo leader should go and beg Asorok. The Igbo people should go and negotiate. But this is a country that is supposed to be one. A citizen of that country is held against his will. The court have said, let him go. They refuse to let him go. And they will come out and tell you, it is the Igbo governors, it is the Igbo this. A country that has a president that is as strong as anything and can command anything to move, and will begin to move without any looking back. They pretend they don't know what is happening, but we know. They have refused to release the Supreme Leader of IPOB, and they continue to detain him indefinitely. If anybody is telling you to go and tell Biafrans to beg, we will not beg them. Even Mazen Nnamdi told us not to beg them. That when the time comes, they are going to listen. The freedom of Mazen Nnamdi is in the hand of Chukwu Okike. Only Biafrans can save Mazen Nnamdi. That is why today the Prime Minister is doing everything possible to secure Biafra and to bring the reality to him. We will continue to speak, no matter their blackmail, no matter their propaganda. We will continue to speak. Let us hear more from this people. Pay attention, you will learn a lot.
Why don't we see other individuals that are highly respected in Nigeria coming together as well to speak to government in this regard?
During MK Abiola's detention, do you know that even Yorubas talk, we are the ones fanning the ember of if government should keep him in detention? Do you understand? So it is not impossible that we find even Southeasterners behind continued detention of this man.
Are you not saying that the 50 National Assembly representatives that went to go talk about this on his behalf, are they not also Nigerians, or don't they have a voice enough for them?
Let me tell you, I've worked closely with big men. Big men have ego. When you confront them and you make it an open thing, you are not going to get the result you desire.
Are we looking at ego or confrontation or judgment and justice
what I'm
that
saying,
Nigerians also deserve?
You see, at the risk of this academic exercise we are having here, I have seen it several times happen that if I offend you, if I go to you privately to say, now this is the position and this is why I did this and did that, you have that listening ear. But the moment another person is with me, you don't want your ego bruised. You will take a hard stand on me. What I'm saying in this is that rather than go and do open show and bring cameramen, bring journalists to say we are pleading for Kanu, there are other ways you can go about it without even having any media presence.
What I want to
you see,
ask.
my aim here is that this man, they should find a way to make sure that it's released. It is only when you are out there that you can prosecute your case properly.
I want to ask, is there anything the Igbo nation has not done to ensure the release of Nnamdi, both privately, both publicly? We have some prominent Yoruba men that have asked the government to release Nnamdi. We even have prominent Northerners asked the federal government to release Nnamdi. Yet, the same government remains adamant. Now, if you put it side by side with the Sunday Igboho issue now, Sunday Igboho, like Moses rightly pointed out, catch of arms were found in his house. Yet, he's not been charged with terrorism. He was in Benin Republic. He was not rendition back. He is in the UK now campaigning for the actualization of the sovereign state of Yoruba. The only thing the federal government has done is to dismiss it that, look, the UK will not accept this petition. Then isn't this a clear case of political persecution? Not just against Nnamdi Kanu, but against the people that he represents?
Well, for me, we are entitled to have different opinions about this thing. But for me,
factually, with facts,
you understand. What I see is that Sunday Igboho's case, I am not defending him because he ran foul of the law of the land by declaring Odua Republic, just like Nnamdi also did by declaring Biafra, sovereign state of Biafra. And Sunday Igboho had a military wing, just the same way that IPOB existed under Nnamdi Kanu. But the question is, when these people started the agitation and they got into the point that the military wing was flexing muscles, you remember they went to the State House of Assembly on a Saturday, hosting their flags and making trouble, but they were rounded up. Immediately they were rounded up. The first thing, every well-meaning elders in Yoruba land denounced them and said, they are still in prison now, in Agodi prison. And that quelled that movement because they didn't get any support from their own base.
But Igboho is going ahead with the agitation.
Even writing petition to Kastama.
Igboho can write petition. You understand? Igboho can agitate. It's still within his right. But today, you can't find an army around Igboho. You understand?
Are there armies around Nnamdi Kanu?
But IPOB is still claiming that they are offshoot of
IPOB, you know, is indigenous people of Biafra, which also have their own registration.
But they have been profiled.
And also recognized.
Wrongly profiled.
Wrongly because a court also asked the federal government of Nigeria to pay a certain amount of money to IPOB for prescribing them here in Nigeria.
But what I'm saying is they are still being profiled.
This is the pattern for every Afonja. Whenever they come, they will try to paint IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, as terrorists. They will always remind you that IPOB has been proscribed. But you and I know that IPOB are not proscribed. In fact, Mazin Nandekano today has won them on different occasions. Mazin Nandekano has no case to answer. The indigenous people of Biafra that Mazin Nandekano represents then and up to today has never committed any crime. They have not committed any extrajudicial killing of people. No. Even today, under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, we don't not fight against any innocent person. We don't fight against the innocent. Our war is against those who have said we will not know peace, the enemies of Biafra. Those are the people we are taking our war to. I want you to pay attention closely. On this discussion, you are going to learn a lot. Most of the time, these videos I play from their conventional media exposes the fact that Nigeria can never ever survive. It exposes the diversity, destructive diversity in the zoo. That is why I play these videos. From their own conventional media, this very program was held this morning. And whenever I come to this station, they are doing very well. This station is doing very well. At least they can help us to locate the mindset of their funja and what they think, no matter how educated they claim to be. No matter how educated they claim to be, when it comes to the issue of Biafra, they lost their senses and they begin to speak lies. Hear from this man.
But they were rounded up. Immediately they were rounded up. The first thing, every well-meaning elders in Yoruba land denounced them and said they are still in prison now, in Agodi prison. And that quelled that movement because they didn't get any support from their own base.
I hope you understand his narrative.
Boho is going ahead with the agitation.
Even writing petitions.
You understand his narrative. He is trying to justify. He is trying to justify the action of Nigerian government against the Biafrans. He is trying to justify the unfair treatment against the Biafrans. Even when you see them pretend to play neutral. As you continue to listen to them, you begin to hear the inner tone of their wickedness and hatred against the Biafrans. They will never stop. And this is why we will not stop until we get out of the Zoological Republic. Listen.
Igbo can write petition. You understand? Igbo can agitate. It's still within his rights. But today, you can't find an army around Igbo. You understand?
Are there armies around Nnamdi Kanu?
But IPOB is still claiming that they are offshoot of
IPOB, you know, is indigenous people of Biafra, which also have their own registration.
But they have been profiled.
And also recognized.
Wrongly profiled.
Wrongly
because
profiled?
a court also
wrongly
asked the
profiled is the
to
word.
pay a certain amount of money to IPOB for prescribing them. Yeah, in Nigeria.
But what I'm saying is they are still being profiled as the military arm of this agitation for Biafra state. Sometimes they deny involvement in crimes in that region. But sometimes they own up. We have seen videos where they'll say that we are doing this. When this man was attacked, the late Ifeanyi, they said they were behind it. And that because...
You see the lies they are telling. IPOB did never claim the responsibility of any attack on Ifeanyi. IPOB, the ESN formed under Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, is not unknown gunmen. Have never been. Today, the Liberation Army under the command of our Prime Minister is not unknown gunmen. When we do something, we stand with it. I don't know where this man is getting his narrative. But as the Afonja, they will always drag their narrative to portray what they want to portray, to paint us evil. And you have seen the picture he's painting, telling you how illegal the IPOB, telling you how IPOB was proscribed, trying to justify the injustice and unequal treatment against the Biafrans. That is what this man is trying to do here. But I tell you, as for we, the Biafrans today, under the command of the Prime Minister, we don't care about any nonsense they speak on their media. We are focused on the restoration of independence of Biafra. It doesn't matter what they care. And the order has been given. Any terrorist in Biafran territory, in uniform and off uniform, operating in Biafran territory, when we catch you, you will go and meet God. We do not take prisoners. We don't have any cell. We don't have any food to feed anybody. Once you are caught in Biafran territory, your name is sorry. Let's listen.
Ifeanyi, you see, except that we don't want to be neutral about these things, I am not saying what Igboho did was right.
Nobody's saying that. You're saying that.
I will not sit here and say that we can.
If Nigeria were to be a country, you can't be comparing these things you are comparing. This kind of discussion, why didn't Igboho do this? Why didn't Igboho treat it the way? If Nigeria were to be one country, you are going to be talking about the treatment of the citizens of the country. But you can see the divisiveness. It is either, why was Igboho treated in this form? Why is Mazen Nandikan being treated in this form? Why is this? Trying to compare the two, showing you the divisiveness. And when the people that respond, you see them falling behind their own. Everybody is protecting his own. Everybody is justifying his own. Nigeria will never, ever stand. The more you continue to support this idiotic entity called Nigeria, the more you expose yourself to evil. Listen.
Nabikano at a point was right in his agitation. But what I'm saying is, at the long run, if nations go to war, they still come back to round table to resolve issues. And how to resolve this issue and make sure that this young man, who has a family, who has children, who has wife, should be released.
He said something about
and
these people don't seem to know what is called freedom fighting. You know, every time they talk about a man that have wife and children. Well, of course, we know that Mazen Nandekano have an ex-wife. And Mazen Nandekano knows what he is fighting for. Don't think that we are going to sleep simply because of a wife, a brother, a sister, or a family. Mazen Nandekano, you are talking about, have said it in his own word, that he will sacrifice everything sacrificable. That is the spirit of freedom. Until you show the world that your freedom worth your life, you are a joker. And that is why Mazen Nandekano have shown the whole world that the freedom of his people that he's asking for, what is life? But what they tried to cajole him and break him up, just like he said in one of his programs, they were telling him to denounce Biafra, go home and enjoy his wife. The same wife that would not give him rest. The same wife that had betrayed him and sold him. But Mazen Nandekano knows what he wants. And these statements will not move him. They have been telling him in the DSS, deny Mazen Simon Ekpa, speak against Mazen Simon, including this Delilah, including the people that are close with him, Mazen Nandekano, every one of them, including lawyers, telling Mazen Nandekano, distance yourself from Mazen Simon Ekpa. He will not do it because he knows if he does that, his life will be in danger. Mazen Nandekano cannot distance himself from Mazen Simon Ekpa. If he does, his life will be in danger, and he knows it very well. They have tried everything they can to separate him from Mazen Simon Ekpa because they know that Mazen Simon Ekpa has the key to bring them to their knees and free Mazen Nandekano. In the recent tweet, Mazen Simon Ekpa said, left for him, we would have rescued Mazen Nandekano a long time ago. But we know what we are waiting. my fellow Biafrans. Let's listen to them as they speak their lies.
Except we want to compound this. I think what should matter to us is how this man will be out of the DSS.
Then he said something about ego. And what I understood by that ego, I don't know if that is the perception you have, that Nnamdi Kanu has not...
I'm not saying Nnamdi Kanu has an ego. I said the government that held him. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I gave that analogy based on the fact that government that held him will not want to be seen as accusation to all those people that are going in the morning with cameras and everything, journalists.
But the same government acquiesced to the demand to let Igboho go. That is the question we are asking. My personal, the point of it is that, was there any visitation to Buhari before Igboho was let up you? No, even if it was underground.
No, I'm asking you. But you also admit that it was possible that some people had gone underground.
Exactly. So, you understand? And we also understand that
why don't we encourage people?
That some Igbo people have also been going underground.
Even across the divide, you said Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbos are going to visit the government to ensure that it's released. They should continue.
So why would the government now not take the people that are coming underground, but now prefer to show off ego for those that are coming publicly? My question is, do you think, if you put both cases side by side, do you think Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted?
Because politically persecuted, or
whether politically or legally? Because the same government...
If it's legally, it has to do with...
He is being subjected to this very torture in different angles, both politically, both legally. These people have forgotten that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is a political prisoner. And that is why they are calling for political solution. And I don't know why they are running away from this very plain truth. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is persecuted politically, persecuted judiciary, persecuted in all angles.
For those that are coming publicly. My question is, do you think, if you put both cases side by side, do you think Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted?
He is
politically persecuted, or
whether politically or legally?
Persecuted in both ways.
Because the same government...
If it's legally, it has to do with the law. And thank God, a lawyer is here.
But this same lawyer said that the court of competent jurisdiction asked for Nnamdi to be released. So why hasn't the government released him?
What I'm saying is, it is wrong for government to still hold him on legal ground.
And politically, is it right for them to hold him?
Politically, it's best for the government to decide that.
So are we not working with the political rights or wrongs? Everywhere we have the justice, we have the rule of law in Nigeria, and we have the justice to be the only thing leading since we are a democratic state or nation.
I have said it here, and except we want to put another round of words into my mouth.
All right, now
government.
All right, Barrister, let's get into it.
Yes, I think these things are here. For me, it is pure selective amnesia. Legally speaking, first of all, let's go there. The Court of Appeal, the Federal High Court, discharged Nnamdi Kanu. The Court of Appeal also affirmed that decision of discharge, even though he was not acquitted. But when you are discharged, you are not acquitted, the court can still bring charges. The state can still bring charges against you. But in Nnamdi Kanu's case, when he was discharged, I said, go home. Court of Appeal. We were thinking, even if it's just 1 day or 2 days, obey that Court of Appeal order, release him based on, what the court has said. Because the Buhari AG, the AG Fed, Adoke, is it Adoke they call that young man, the AG during Buhari's time, said that it is the court that will determine Nnamdi Kanu's fate. No problem. What's his name again? Fagbemi came in and when asked about, he said it's the court that will determine Nnamdi Kanu's fate. The court decided and determined. I said, go. But they kept him after the court had made pronouncement, while they were trying to ask court to look, obey court order. For 3 weeks, he was in the gallows of the DSS. And for that 3 weeks, the AG Fed had to move around to appeal that particular, appeal court, judgment. The Supreme Court of the land even said that the way he was brought into Nigeria was a legal way of doing things. But he only said that let that matter be taken back, to the lower court, where it's for proper trial, as the case may be. We felt as at that time that the Supreme Court, if we had some very brave, judges like I mentioned before, would have asked the young man to go home, then whenever discharge him, not acquitted. When you discharge him, I believe that the government will now come back with fresh charges and bring him properly before the court. But the Supreme Court now said, go back to that lower court, go and start your trial again, de novo, from the beginning. That is number one. Number two is that prominent people, Igbo people, met, Buhari, Ohaneze Igbo people, what's his name, Nwayanwu was there, even Emeka Anyanko has gone there, is it Kalu has gone there. Then you have this man, Ben Wabweze. Professor Ben Wabweze is like, like the one Akintoye we have in the Southwest. That's a professor like himself. But Professor Ben Wabweze is more known and prominent, with due respect to Akintoye, in the Nigerian political lithosphere. He also went before, Buhari. Then the Uwazirike, that is not the Maswab leader, but the elderly Uwazirike, who is late now, who was, the President General of Ohaneze Igbo, the whole world, when they said, President, my own son, please, if you can release Nnamdi Kanu, let me see him before I die. That was an emotional statement. And when we were thinking that Buhari will do something, or maybe the state will do something, he just laughed over it. And some months after the man made that statement, the man died. All those who clamored for the release of Nnamdi Kanu from the South, the prominent people are all late right now. If you look at the list, you know what I'm telling you. Then you now look at, let me tell you the reason why we are saying that the Igboho and the Nnamdi Kanu's case is this. When this particular issue started, number one, immediately Nnamdi Kanu was, arrested, the whole of the Southeast was cordoned up with troops of, Operation One Thing, as they call them. Is it Pofada, as they call them? But when Igboho, before Igboho ran, to a Benin Republic, and those people who went to that place to hoist their flag, at the police station, they were arrested. Why was even Oyo State alone not cordoned off? And a special military, whatever, taking them, because they were still killing people inside the forest. They had to go out on the war against the Fulanis, as they said, open and close. Why did they not cordon off the whole of the Southwest the way they are doing the Southeast now? There's a special troop in the Southeast, that is creating problems. So when you create tension, that is the problem. Now, two, is this, let me tell you, Sunday Igboho escaped, let me use the word, he went to Benin Republic, he jumped bail, in fact, he jumped bail, because there was a court or whatever, he had to run away. Charges were there, he ran away. Now the Kanu's case was this. What the government said was that when, what's his name, Barry took him on bail as a shorty, they said he jumped bail. He now ran, out of Nigeria. You understand? And what did he say? He used that particular, invasion of his father's house as an excuse for him to run away. Then if he had not run away at that time, that the soldiers would have killed him. That yes, he knew he was on bail, but he had to run away because the fact that, soldiers that were drafted to the Southeast to come and burn his father's house, frightened him and ran away. That was for me a very genuine and, germane reason. Now, when he left and government said he jumped bail, they now had to, use extramilitary, might to go outside of Nigeria to look for him, to, bring him back. They spent a lot of money, to bring Nnamdi Kanu back to come and face, what we are asking. Why are they not using the same method, for them against Sunday Igboho?
All right, let's get.
So these are the questions. I'm not being partisan, but I'm just being realistic.
Absolutely.
Because I have profiled this a number of times. Human rights angle, we have complained. International human rights, they have said, release this man, let him go. See, your constitution, you're going against your constitution. So myself, I feel is selective amnesia.
All
That
right.
is just the truth of the matter for me.
Thank you very much, Barrister Asim Adams. Well, we have a virtual guest, Jide Ojo. Thanks for joining the conversation. Good morning to you. Well, you've been listening, and I like the fact that the barrister took us down memory lane. He reminded us of a few things. Now, I'm going to throw this very, very straight. Isn't this a case of we all are Nigerians, but some are more Nigerian than others?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Please let the studio allow me to see you. I'm not seeing anything at the other end.
Okay, our engineers will get to work. I think it has something to do with the quality of the video, but our engineers are working on that one. So you can, they can put you on screen as against just having your voice. All right, can you see now? Can you see the studio now?
No, I'm not seeing anything yet, but I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, so our engineers will get to work. But while they're working on that, do you mind just going ahead?
Yes, I think it's double standard. Even though it wasn't this administration that granted Sunday Igboho the freedom, I believe you will recall that Sunday Igboho under Buhari was hounded and his house was raided in Ibadan. And he managed to escape to Benin Republic, where he was put on trial after he was trying to leave for Germany, himself and his wife. I think he was apprehended at the Benin International Airport and was jailed for like 2 years. But eminent Nigerians of Yoruba extraction, I believe, went to work and pleaded for leniency with the Benin authority, and that was how Sunday Igboho came back after the Tinubu administration has been inaugurated. That's the fact of the case. It wasn't as if the Nigerian government was the one that pardoned, quote and unquote, Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho was hounded. Someone was killed in that raid in his house in Ibadan. And a number of people were arrested, and he fought his way through the court, even while he was in Benin Republic, and he won all his cases in Nigerian court. But the Benin authority apprehended him, jailed him for like 2 years, and he was eventually released to go to Germany, where he, quote and unquote, hibernated till Tinubu government came to power. So Tinubu administration could not arrest him because he won all his cases in the Nigerian court, even while he was in absentia. He sued the DSS and the security authorities of Nigeria. But having said that, and that's just setting the record straight about Sunday Igboho. Having said that, I still strongly believe that the solution to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release is a political solution. It cannot and should not be done singularly through the court. All the people I have known who were either militants in Niger Delta or the agitators in the Southwest, starting from the current Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, Gani Adams. Recall that Gani Adams under Obasanjo was apprehended and was in prison for years before Yoruba elders waded in and pleaded with Obasanjo administration to allow Gani Adams to go. So that was the one where I could say, matter of fact, political solution was deployed by the Yoruba elders. So it was in the case of Gani Adams, the current Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, the generalissimo of Yoruba race, that the political solution. But in the case of Sunday Igboho, it was actually international diplomacy by some Yoruba elders that eventually led to his release by the Benenu authorities. And eventually, like I said, he won all his cases in the Nigerian courts, and the facts are there. But in terms of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I also have agitated, I've advocated that a political solution is what will resolve the IPOB agitation. Don't forget that MASOB preceded IPOB before IPOB was founded and became the arrowhead of the struggle for Igbo political and economic emancipation. But let's also try to analyze what actually was IPOB agitation about.
That was actually the question I wanted to ask you, Mr. Jideojo, because not just IPOB, we have also seen other people also agitate, even here in the South. Just this recent time, Onitire also, agitated. They went to Ibadan again to, hoist the flag and all that. And people are still agitating, and they have what they are clamoring for, which is marginalization, bad governance, and a whole lot more. Now, do you think with the arrest or this detention of Nnamdi Kanu, that the agitation is going to die down anytime soon?
Do I think the arrest and agitation what?
Do you think with the arrest and detentions that the agitations are going to die down soon? The people who are agitating secessionists, do you think their agitation or their quest in any way is going to be mitigated or die anytime soon?
The truth, as I know it to be, is that agitations are, as a result, Albert Camus said the rebellion cannot exist without a feeling that somewhere in some ways you are justified. That's Albert Camus. Agitations, before you both said in, I was trying to lay the foundation, as I know it to be, of the IPOB agitation, which is that there was this perception of marginalization and discrimination against the Igbo nation and political exclusion. Now, if you look at the economic angle to it, the successive governments have been trying to resolve the economic agitation. And that's why even as against the initial freedom slip, I want to call it, by Buhari in 2015, that he cannot give same attention to those who gave him 95% of the vote. He cannot give similar attention to those who gave him 5% of the vote. And everybody felt it was referring to the Igbo nation. And obviously, people criticized him for making that statement. And we know the fact speaks that the second Niger bridge was completed by Buhari administration. Even when Jonathan was there, he didn't do it. So I think the economic issue have been looked into. I'm not saying that maybe sufficient attention has been paid, but even as we speak today, it's an Igbo man that is the Minister of Works. You will see that just a couple of months back, Tinubu administration signed into law the Southeast Development Commission. Just the same day he gave the Northwest Development Commission. So I'm just trying to calibrate what the agitation is about. That some of the grievances are being looked into.
Sorry,
but
Mr. Ojo.
The main issue is the political exclusion. For me, is the political exclusion. Yes, you want to say something?
All right, yes, I want to say something. You said that there was a perception about marginalization. Don't you think it was real that the Igbo nation was clearly marginalized? And you just said that the second Niger bridge was completed during the tenure of Muhammad Buhari. Can you point to any other federal infrastructure that exists in the Southeast during the Buhari administration? Buhari had how many security heads in all the agencies? None of them came from the Southeast. Even in the present government, how many people from the Southeast are serving in this government? That wasn't the case during the Obasanjo and Jonathan and even Yar'Adua administration. So, like I said, I asked, was the marginalization not a reality in the light of the few things that I've just pointed out? And you talk about addressing those things, that the Minister of Works is from the Southeast. How many of the federal roads in the past 16 months have been constructed in the Southeast? Was it just perception or was it a reality?
I will still maintain that it's a matter of perception. Now, let me just answer in my own understanding. I said the one that is most prominent is the political exclusion. And I, seated there, have said to address issue of political exclusion of the Igbo nation, similar political engineering as was done for the Yoruba nation in 1999 should be brought to bear. I've written 2 commentaries in my column in The Punch to agitate for Igbo presidency. So I'm not an ethnic jingoist. And I'm maintaining that it's a perception because
Mr. Ojo, in one breath, you admit that the Igbos were excluded from the political heights of this country. And in another breath, you also admit that it was a perception. Is it not a contradiction?
It's not.
How?
I said, listen now, that's it. Let me answer you. You said, how? See, everyone who had been present, and I said the political exclusion is based on the fact that if you look at the issue of population and number of states, you will know that it will take a kind of political engineering for an Igbo to be president of Nigeria. And that is why I have said, in terms of winning the presidency of Nigeria, you cannot be mounting ethnic jingoist slogan and think that they will work for you. And that's why I'm saying, let us bring in the, it's like what happened in Edo State during this last governorship election. APC decided to field the candidate from Edo Central in the name of Monday Okwebolo, who is a serving senator. PDP decided to go for Aswe Ighodalo in the name somebody also from Edo Central. It was a political solution because if they had gone by numerical strength, Edo South, which has over 50% of the vote, will continue to produce governor of Edo State. And that is why I said, if you look, most of the Igbos are not even residing in Southeast. They are all over Nigeria.
So what has that got to do with elections, with electoral votes? You talk about population. Mr. Ojo, you talk about population. What is the population of South and Bayelsa State that produced President Goodluck Jonathan as president of Nigeria? You also talked about how Obasanjo became president in 1999 because of a political solution from an outgrowth of what happened in June 12. So is this still a perception or a reality? And when you talk about the Igbos residing outside the Southeast, don't they have the right to vote wherever they live during presidential elections? In the 2023 general election, Mr. Joe, sorry, sir. In the 2023 general elections, didn't Peter Obi reach out? Handshakes across the Niger, handshakes in the north. What did it come up to? Did it have anything to do with the population of the Igbo nation?
Will you allow me to just land on my thoughts, please, sir?
Go ahead, sir.
Unless you don't want me to participate.
No, go ahead, sir.
I'm entitled.
We are just
Listen. I don't want this to be turned into Igbo Yoruba debate. If you don't want me to weigh in on this matter, then I can as well. I have better things to do.
Mr. Joe, go ahead. Go ahead. We are having a conversation, sir.
Yes, if we are having a conversation, you should not be butting into my line of thought. If you don't want to
Mr. Ojo,
if you don't want to hear what I have to say, then I have better things to do with my time. I said we need to have political solution. I've repeated this almost 5 times. That is how the perception of marginalization, political marginalization of Igbos, how they can get to the presidency of Nigeria is the political solution. I talked about what happened with the Yoruba nation in 1999 when they wanted to compensate for Abiola's death. The PDP and the AD and ANPP resolved to produce only Yoruba candidates. And that was what I agitated for in the lead up to 2023 general elections. It's there, I can send you the link. And Obasanjo that is now crying more than the bereaved that wants Igbo presidency in 2023. What did he do when he had the opportunity, when he was leaving power in 2007? Did he support an Igbo president? All the while, when he could have fostered the kind of arrangement that brought him to power in 1999 and reach out to his colleagues.
A Yoruba man from the south to give power to an Igbo man from the same south. Will you have supported Obasanjo to give power to an Igbo man from the south?
Even if he couldn't do that in 2007, I am saying ahead of 2023, before he finally endorsed Peter Obi, he could have reached out to his brother's former head of state and president to weigh in that there is a need to address the issue of Igbo not being president since.
When you listen to these people, you begin to see their idiocy and madness. What is so special about their presidency? Why is it that for Igbo man to be a president in Nigeria, you need to begin to beg? You need to go and beg ex-leaders. You need to go and beg ex-military officers. You need to go and... What nonsense, what arrant nonsense is that? When we say Nigeria is not a country, it is because of these idiotic discussions. And that is why I am playing this video. I play these videos for you to know the idiotic brain of Nigerian people. I am playing this video for Biafrans to know that you don't belong to Nigeria. You do not belong to Nigeria. Why do you have to beg for you to get something that belongs to you? In a country that is your own, why do you have to come low to bend your head and bow? Why? Why don't they look at competence? Why don't you talk about competence? You are talking about one Nigeria. One Nigeria, one Nigeria. Why are you mentioning Yoruba presidency, Igbo presidency, Hausa presidency, or whatever presidency? Why? It is because Nigeria is not a nation, has never been a nation, and will never ever be a nation. It's the truth. And that is why I am playing this video, for Biafrans to understand that Nigeria is not for them. Will never be for you. The earlier we begin to plan our way out, the better for us. And I thank God that today we are on our way out of this very zoological republic.
The time of Nnamdi Azikiwe. And if he had mounted that kind of campaign like 2 years to the election, perhaps he would have been able to muster sufficient support that would lead APC and PDP to have an Igbo candidate. And it will have been a done deal for an Igbo man to be president in 2023. And I still believe that is the pathway to having an Igbo president in Nigeria in the nearest future, unless we tinker with the constitution and gave a rotational presidency among the 6 geopolitical zones, or we decide.
It is funny that these idiots think that the problem of the zoo is presidency. It is very funny that these idiotic people think it is the presidency. And I bet you, if the Igbos produce president, they will suffer the more. The constitution of this country, the system of Nigeria is put in place to enslave everybody, to make sure of the enslavement of the people, more especially the Igbo people. The only thing that can save us from this enslavement is to get out of the zoo. And that is where we are focusing on. Every other idiotic statement they are making here is useless. And that is why I cannot continue to listen to this nonsense. Our focus is on the restoration of Biafra and Biafra must be restored, whether they like it or not.
You have made history today. By the power conferred on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law. And therefore, shall be called the Biafra Helsinki Declaration 2024.
This is what we've been waiting for November. Wherever you are, prepare yourself. We are waiting for the convention. November 29th of November. Come on to your dawn of wherever you are, pray for the convention. Biafra is coming. Very, very soon. From December 2nd. After the declaration of independence, if they think we are they better take the case. Anybody that's thinking that the restriction of Biafra the time has come. The time has come for us to march in. And we can march in.
We have to say the Prime Minister says hello to all.
No matter the group and that.
So we have to march again.
We are going to leave this job. Wherever you are, begin to prepare yourself and give your utmost support in the question. He's ready to do everything humanly possible. We must not allow anything to be done. The IPOB in Nigeria, the Delilah and the groups will never succeed. We are going to bring them down. Biafra will by fire. We must begin to prepare.
We have 100% voted for our freedom, Biafra. So whether you like it or not, we are our freedom has been discussed and have been getting it. 100%. And that's why we are going home. Biafra is declared.
My show here. Over again now. He got no photo. Me kwere he get kwere mahe kwero ha get kwere
Thank you so much, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are joining us from, wherever you are watching us from. I appreciate you, and I hope you have gotten the message straight. Before we go, let us listen to our commercials once again before we go.
Biafra, BFR, Raffle Jingle, my people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku, na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show, no be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of the Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up, he go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you and your pikin them. I dey tell you, he can still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing dey happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR, no sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too, no play.
My fellow Biafrans, let's continue to pay attention.
The Texas Liaison USA is welcoming our Obataobi, His Excellency Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, to the United States of America, USA, for a town hall meeting. Therefore, we're inviting all wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafrans, well-wishers, and all lovers of freedom to this great event. Yeehaw! We move!
Keep on fighting, yeah, yeah, ooh. Stop. Keep on fighting, yeah, yeah, ooh. Stop complaining, oh na na na.
Get ready, good people of Biafra and lovers of freedom all over the world, for this invitation announcement as we approach the December Biafran historical event in Finland 2024. The Biafran Redeclaration Sponsorship Committee and its members are inviting all Biafrans and friends for a mega fundraising this Sunday, October 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Biafran time. Always remember that the enemies understand what is coming and the weight of our resolve. So, the harder we push and support financially, the more the enemies tremble. The closer we get to the promised land, the tougher we expect it to be. Together we shall win, and the sun must surely rise this year. Biafran first, Biafran Exodus, and Biafran Republic Government in exile. Bon.
Shout out to them soldiers, where they find them, where they find us. Stand strong and courageous, cause if you leave them, they will pay us. Shout out to them soldiers, where they find them, where they find us. Stand strong and courageous, cause if you leave them, they will pay us. Brother, it's a matter of time, truth to prevail, all your agenda. Keep on fighting, yeah, yeah, ooh.
Before we go, let us receive these strong messages from our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa.
Biafra will come. You either allow us to go in peace, or you are going to remain pieces and Biafra will still go. I come that Nigeria will end. I come that there will end the Usman Danfodio legacy. That legacy that every time they will be talking about Usman Danfodio, you would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured an aeroplane. You would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured a car, or he invented one Ihela machine or something like that. No. Usman Danfodio have a legacy for killing northern Nigeria, for killing Hausas, conquering them, and turn them into what you see today, Hausa Fulani. That is the legacy that Usman Danfodio brought to northern Nigeria. And today, they have Usman Danfodio University. That is what they continue that particular legacy. That is the reason why the Fulanis are killing innocent Christians in the northern Nigeria and the Middle Belt. It is to continue the Usman Danfodio legacy, and I am here to end it. I will end it. The end of Usman Danfodio legacy will start from this year. I am telling you, go and mark it. It will start from December 2nd. Once we exit Nigeria, that legacy is gone, completely gone, because they will not have any other place to conquer. Is it us that you are going to cross our border to come and start saying you want to conquer Biafra? We did not conquer us when we were in Nigeria. It's not going to be possible. Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. I will question it with gun. We will question it with bomb. We will question it with civility. We will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide. Mgbe Usman Danfodio buru agha nke ya wee bata, wee gbugide ndị ugwu, wee gbuchie ha, wee were ana ha. Akụkọ ahụ bụ ihe a na-akọrọ anyị. Akọgide aka ka Usman Danfodio si wee gbuchie ndị ugwu, o wee bụzi ya datina onye sizi n'ugwu Hausa wee pụta mụọ agụ ụra n'ala Igbo. Isisi agbụkwana ejekwana dị ọgụ na ọ na-akpọkwa daga. Maka ọrụ ihe a kọrọ anyị, ndị a were egwu Igbo. Onye Hausa mụọ agụ ụra, ịgbachi ya nkịtị, maka na ịma na ọ ga-ama gị daga. Ana ọmacha gị daga ahụ nwe ihe ị ga-eme. Ndị a wee were ụjọ wee jide anyị wee na-dagbuo. Onye ugwu mee gị ihe, ịgbachi nkịtị, ị na-edi ya. Mana onye nwanne gị bụ onye Igbo mee gị ihe, o wee Biafra mee gị ihe, isi ka egbuo ya nkịta nke echi. Maka na ịma na ọ naghị ama daga. Aga m agwa unu na daga anyị kịta abụrụzi against ndị Igbo. Daga anyị kịta bụ against ndị ahụ bịara be anyị igbu anyị otu Usman Danfodio style. A ga-ama ha ivu eva n'ụwa niile a. Daga niile ha malụ n'ugwu Hausa, anyị ga-amakarịa ha nwasef. Ebe a ka anyị nọ. Amachazi ya, onye onwe ya. We will now begin to idozi ana anyị, dozi ana Igbo, dozi ana Biafra, ọ dịla anyị mma. Maka na ihe anyị na-achọ. Ka ọ dị onye ọbụla na mma ka ihe niile a na-eme na-aga aga. Onye nwere isi ọgụgụ ọ gụọ, onye nwere isi eji alụpụta ihe o mee ya, na-alụ ya, na-afọ ya n'anya, na-eme kọmpetishọn ọhịa na-eme ka ụwa dị mma. Onye ọbụla na-egoli. Ndewonu.
We are going to do wonders. I want you all to understand that we are in a very big battle. Battle for freedom is not for lily-livered people. It's not for kids. Battle for freedom, they throw bombs, rockets, for people to get freedom. So freedom is not meant for people that are too emotional. It's not meant for people that somebody will talk this and talk that and they begin to shiver. No. I am born for Biafra to come. And I'm going to help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get Biafra. Believe me. Go and mark today's date. I want to assure Biafrans, so long as you continue to stand on your freedom, I will be there for you. So long as you continue to maintain that you have a right to live, I, Simon Ekpa, will be there. Any day, anytime.
And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom. And that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred have continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting extrajudicially murdering people in our land. People who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I am here to end the Usman Danfodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in their different countries doesn't have to head. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought out myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job. And by December, I will issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. And the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every liaison office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world. And then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition of Biafra government.
Thank you so much for listening to all this program. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from. I appreciate every one of you that has participated in this program. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you all. Like and share and invite people to join us on the next program. Continue to support the liberation of Biafra. Continue to support our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Our victory is very, very sure. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every one of you. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Prime Minister. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Victory is ours and we shall overcome. Thank you and see you next time.
O Mary Wonindizu, Wonioya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2. Na Python that's 3. Unapuri Mary Nnamdi bu onye du Bible. O Mary, Nizu, Biruya, Abakare, Mamanda Ora, Unaburi Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaburi Mary Nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Unaburi Mary Nandi.
Weli anaga. Obobi anamania. Omo Biafra ne wongo. Israel ne wongo. Omo kainjana. Omo kainjana. Hey. Na so. Anyala. Ụmụ Biafra n'ala anyị n'ala n'ala nsọ ngwanụ ka anyị lawa aka mkpuchi ọnwa we are unstoppable, we are indefatigable. The 14 states of Biafra. Ngwanu. Anyana. Iye chidere. Odego ya. Chidera yi Biafra. Anyala wala. Mandi no n'obodo Igbo, mandi no na Nigeria, mandi no na mba ụwa ọzọ dị iche iche. Obi kadawala, ọ na-akpanyụ n'ugwu na ndịda. Oge ụnụ anyị erugo, webe ọṅụ, webe ọṅụ. Webe ọṅụ, eluigwe na-enwe ọṅụ. Anyị pụọ, ana m anụ ya. Na so, gbaa ya agba. Ezi ụka. Now so we don't do am. Papa tiri ya mwayo. Mama bara megwa. Mwayo. Ụmụaka ụmụ Biafra ụmụ ọma. Anyị ananụ. N'obodo ọma ahụ. Obodo kwere anyị na nkwa. Ekene. Otito dị n'ọbasi nke igwe. Eze Chineke abịa ama ụra. Onye na-etinye ụzọ ebe ụzọ na-adịghị. Odumala. Biafra, omen, ụna.